Some seniors need a little more help than others, especially when it comes to navigating the court system.
That can get tricky even if you're not a senior. Darrell Brooke, Monrovia Trust and probate attorney, joins us now to discuss some cases he's been involved in.
Tough stuff.
It is really tough stuff, and I think we need to worry about how our elders are going to be taken care of. That was the primary issue about conservatorships and providing protection to them. I think it's essential that we provide safeguards and responsibilities that can be carried out within the court system.
Now, you're also a specialist in elder law. Right?
I am.
And so you deal with a lot of abuse issues, and I've actually had the privilege of working with you on some situations. So talk a little bit about when things come to your table, come to your office. How do you start to address some of those abuse issues?
I normally get a situation where a family member is involved and they're taking care of mom or dad. And it's a situation where they're providing a lot of unprofessional health care and unscripted financial services. It gets to the point where the monies are draining, the swamp is being drained, as someone would say, and they're looking for help to kind of restructure the whole system. So they come in, put everything in place, and we move forward, either with an estate plan if they're competent, or if not, then we go through with a conservatorship proceeding.
Explain a little bit about what a conservatorship is.
A conservatorship is a court proceeding where you have an individual who cannot manage his or her own financial matters and also their health care issues. So it gets to the point where they need to have somebody appointed, and it's normally somebody who is next of kin, like a child, a sibling, or somebody who's closely connected with that person. However, if that person doesn't have any close family members, then there is a wide array of professional fiduciaries who are licensed, bonded, and tested to go ahead and provide those services for the conservatee, the one who needs the help.
Great.
Okay, so I live with a landlady who's 91 years old. She's pretty infirmish. She has her children take care of her money. I'm kind of like worried about where they stand in terms of taking care of her. What are some of the obstacles that someone, maybe a child, is going to have to jump through in order to take care of their parent?
Well, the number one issue is to marshal all of the assets, to make sure that they know exactly where the bank accounts are, if they own any real estate, if there's any stocks and bonds, retirement accounts. Those are all issues that have to be explored by whomever is going to be taking care of that person. Sometimes the child or a family member may not be the best person to handle those matters. And as Mary and I have worked on this one case together, we had that come through very clearly.
It's like giving your golden ticket away and somebody just takes advantage.
Yeah.
It's
and
a tough
especially
thing.
if someone doesn't have the cognitive functioning to understand that their finances are being drained. So go back to conservatorship then. So we see this abuse take place, and there's a process for conservatorship. And I think sometimes that's frustrating for families, and because it doesn't happen quickly necessarily. But talk about what the process is and the two components to the conservatorship as far as person and estate.
Thank you, Mary. I will. Conservatorship of the person is a situation where you have somebody who cannot make health care decisions for themselves. They're incapacitated. They cannot independently make medical decisions on their own without assistance. So you have somebody who's appointed as conservator of the person. With the landlady situation, if she has assets, then you may need a conservator of the estate to handle her financial matters. Okay. So it's usually the same person, although you may need to have different expertises, like a medical provider to be the conservator of the person, and a financial advisor or somebody who has financial acumen to take care of the estate.
And so sometimes these things go haywire, and people, in particular family members, can be quite abusive, and often we see that it's either with
they have
neglect,
an agenda.
They have agenda, but there may be neglect or isolation, but the money starts draining. There was a particular situation where you were actually able to reverse all of that money that the son had stolen and taken the house and all kinds of precarious things. Talk a little bit about some of those steps and what you had done with that case.
Well, abuse is a funny situation because abuse, when you think of abuse, you think of
hitting,
physical
striking,
abuse. But it also could be financial abuse, and it could be verbal abuse. And in this situation, the child hit the trifecta. He committed the physical abuse, the verbal abuse, as well as the financial abuse. So it got to the point where one of my clients, who's a professional fiduciary, was called in by the other sibling, the other child, and brought in to rectify the situation. And this is something that had been going on since 1992. And we were able to go ahead and take care of everything within the last year so that all the monies that this person took were restored to the conservatee who really still needs it.
As
I
it
mean,
should
she's still
be.
living and she still needs the health care. So, I'm sorry, Jordan.
Oh, she should be. It's her money. She deserves it. It's unfortunate to see because I had a family member who had family that lived down in Mexico and would drive up to California just to take $10,000, $15,000 from them.
Aye.
And it's unfortunate. You know, they were only able to get, I think, about 20 or 30% of it back after going through the legal system.
That's the hard thing, is actually
Yeah,
trying to get the
getting it
assets
back.
back, correct?
Right, it is. But I think after, sorting through everything and doing a tremendous research, going back to 1992, we were able to take everything back and resolve everything. And that's the beauty about the court system, because the court system gives you that protection, gives you that avenue to take care of things. That may not happen quickly, but
it happens.
they're responsible for it.
Tell us how someone would get a hold of you if they needed your support.
Well, they can get a hold of me in Old Town Monrovia. I've got an office there right in the middle of Old Town Monrovia. And they can reach me at area code 626-303-1806. I've been a certified specialist in estate planning, probate, and trust law for the last 20 years. And I thrive myself on providing personal services, make house calls, and will travel anywhere to help families in need.
Do you have a website?
I do. It's www.monroviatrust.com.
Thank you. Thank you for your work.
Thank
Thank you
Darrell.
very much for having me.
Really appreciate it. And up next, this is, we're going to have something for the man who
We're going
wants
to
to
get
dress
suited
for
up.
success.
We're going to look nice. And that's coming next.